What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Let's Be Real. I want to say thank y'all again for coming out and watching another one of my episodes. And remember, if you haven't seen the other videos, make sure you go and check them out. I've been doing these. It's a weekly thing. I've been getting a lot of positive feedback, so thank y'all. Thank y'all for y'all support. Oh, guess what? I got my first hater. Yeah, I got a person. Hey, you know what? I'm just shouting it out because it's just funny to me. There's somebody who told me, oh, I can't believe you got this channel called Let's Be Real and you're not even real and you're fake and I'm going to expose you and saying all this stuff, right? And you know what I said? Oh no, you're going to expose me. Please, please don't expose me. I promise. Please, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Psych. No. That's not what I said. You know what I said? I said, great. You're going to expose me? Cool. Leave it in the comments. Leave it in the comments. What are you going to expose about me? That's the whole purpose of this channel is I'm exposing myself. So, I mean, look, what else you want me to say? I already said I was a drug addict. I cheated. Like, hey, we're going to keep this going too. But, hey, look, I'm exposing myself on this thing. And that's the whole purpose of this channel. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, but I thought that was kind of funny. I got my first one. And I'm sure it's going to keep on going. It ain't stopping. But, hey, look, like I said, I'm ready. So, again, leave comments. Let me know what y'all thinking about it, positive or negative. Hey, I could take constructive criticism. So, today's episode is actually a request, a special request. So shout out to you, Lil J. He requested this video, and yeah, it was a good idea. I really appreciate it. So, hey, thank you for requesting it, and I'm gonna honor that request. But it's talking about school years. But in order to talk about what I really want to get into, which is my high school years, in order to talk about that, I have to go and start from the beginning, which would be elementary school. So elementary school, I went to Thomas Jefferson Elementary. Those of y'all, look, if anybody's watching from another city or state, I'm from Houston, Texas. So anybody from Houston, Northside Houston knows where that school is, which school that is. So, hey, look, shout out to all my Thomas Jefferson friends out there. Hey, get in touch with me. Look, if you know me, if you recognize me. Anyways, in elementary school, I was already a little wild child. For me, I think that me acting up in school and everything that I would do, even in elementary school, it all came from how I was living at home. And those of y'all who have followed me or have watched some of my early videos, I would like the one I posted on Facebook. One of my early videos I posted on Facebook. Y'all already know, my upbringing. I was raised in an abusive home and just all kinds of stuff, right? Y'all go check out my videos. But so if y'all already got an idea of that, so everything that I talked about, all that went, when I would go to school, I would bring that to school. I would act out in school because of how I was living at home. And I was not happy, you know what I'm saying? I was not a happy child. So, of course, I acted out in different ways. So, I would constantly get in trouble in elementary school, starting from just right away, you know what I'm saying? I would always I was getting in fights almost every single day. I would fight a lot in elementary school. And if you would have seen me in elementary school, you would have been like, yeah, right, this kid ain't fighting nobody. I was just a little bitty toothpick. Just little guy. But I was, though. I really was. And and I was beating kids up. And I'm not just saying that, just to brag on myself. But I was, even as a little bitty, I was a little thing. But, hey, look, I was angry. And so, but I would always get in fights. I was always doing something, getting myself in trouble, pulling pranks in school and class and stuff. And I was suspended almost every single week. And then, of course, I would get suspended from school and then come home and I would get in more trouble. And I would, get punished more, get hit more. And I would just, it was like a never-ending cycle because I feel that I was taking all that paying out, like just from me not having my mom and my dad and having to deal with all those issues with my grandparents. I took it out in those ways. I was getting in fights with kids, and I was just a bad little kid. Just, if you can imagine this little skinny little boy running around elementary school, cussing and singing rap songs, like just a little bad little baby kid, like that's the term, right, for bad little kids, baby. That little baby over there, that's what I was. I really was. And but it's funny. It's kind of funny, but it's not, right? It's funny when I imagine myself at that age and how I was acting, and but it wasn't funny. It's not funny because it escalated and just carried on throughout my school years. So it got so bad that eventually, oh man, I would even pull little stunts. Like, man, one time I was supposed to catch the bus, right? I would catch the bus after school. Well, this one time I had this little homeboy, and he would walk home from school. He didn't catch no bus. He walked home. And so I thought it was cool. He said if I wanted to walk with him one day, I was like, yeah. I was supposed to catch the bus. So I skipped the bus and went with him. And he was like, where do you live at? And I was like, I didn't even know where I live exactly. And I told him, I don't even know. Actually, I don't even know how the heck we made it to my house, because I have no idea how I told him or how he knew where to take me or what. But anyways, this kid, he was a little older than me. And his name was Francisco. Yeah, so he walked with me to my grandma's house, and when I showed up at my grandma's house, I got in so much trouble because they didn't know what happened to me. They didn't know what happened to me. They thought I got kidnapped or something. Because the bus driver showed up at my grandma's house and said, "Hey, Ricky wasn't there. He didn't get on the bus." So my grandparents were pissed. They were pissed, and I got in trouble for that. I did that multiple times. I did it another time where I skipped school. I skipped the school bus and went with that boy Francisco, and went to his house and played games. But there would be multiple bus rides, right? I think there was like 2 trips the bus driver would do. So I went thinking I was gonna catch the second bus, and I went skipped the bus after school, played games with him, then went back to the school. And I missed the second bus, and they had to call the bus driver from the principal's office, tell her to come back. Her name was Sonia. Told Sonia to come back and pick me up because I had missed the bus, and she was mad. She was mad that she had to do an extra trip. But luckily, she actually lived like a few blocks away from my grandma's house anyway, so it wasn't that big of a deal. Sonia, stop tripping. But nah, she was cool. Anyway, so it got so bad. It got so bad to the point where I don't know exactly if they kicked me out of my elementary school, if I got kicked out, or my grandparents took me out because they said I was getting so bad and they wanted me to act right. They wanted something different because I was just getting so bad. They thought I was just turning into a little thug, right? So anyway, so they pulled me out and put me into a private school, right? Now, a lot of y'all might be like, oh, you didn't have it bad. You didn't have it bad at all. You little private school, little dork. But, nah, look, it was still a little private school in Northside, though. It was still a little private school in the hood. So, hey, so they did, right? They put me in a private school. And from 5th grade, I went from 5th grade, started. And as soon as I got to that little private school, I started getting in trouble. Because you know what? I had to adjust. Because I just came from a public school. I just came from acting wild and, getting into all these fights. So you just put me into this private school and expected me to behave, right, overnight. Or no, it didn't happen that way. I went into I think it was like it was either the first day that I got into that school or just a couple days into it. Me and this boy, I don't know what happened, but I didn't like what he was doing, or I didn't like I don't know what happened. He said something wrong to me, and hey, we started fighting in class. And I started fighting with him in class, and I don't know if that happened to their school. I doubt it did, because when I was there, the years that I was there, I probably got into the most fights in that school. It started the most fights and got into the most trouble. So um, anyway, so then I got in trouble at that school, and I started doing little stuff even in that private school, because again, I was not happy at home. You know, I was still dealing with everything with my grandparents, still dealing with that abuse at home. So I would still get in trouble in this school. Started getting suspended and write-ups or whatever. Well, I forgot what all they did, but they were pretty nice about it. But at the same time, hey, look, I was acting bad. One story specifically that I still remember, and it kind of hurts me in a way because you'll find out why. So my dad um, had been to prison, right? And so when he got out of prison, I ended up seeing him one time with a visit with my sisters, and he had like this binder, right? He had a binder full of these drawings that he had drew, and they were like, I thought they were awesome. You know what I'm saying? He showed me the folder full of these drawings, and I was looking through them. I was like, oh man, these are awesome. And they had cars, and they had just all kinds of different cartoon characters, and then they had some women, right? They had some women. These women were naked. They had naked women. He had naked women drawings, which that wasn't new to me. I had already been seeing naked women. I had already seen in elementary school. I had already seen pornography. You know what I'm saying? So that's another story in itself. But so anyway, so I was like, man, Tata, I don't want these. That's why I call my dad Tata. I was like, Tata, let me. I think I asked for him or something, and he gave them to me. He was like, "He go, me, you can have them." So I got them, and I was like, oh, I was so happy. I took them. My grandparents didn't know I had them, and so the next day, right, I was super excited. I was like, oh man, I'm gonna show all these kids these pictures. I just wanted to show off my dad's drawings. So I went to the school. I got to school, and at some point in the day, I pulled it out, right, and I was showing these little kids, not some of them, right. I was showing them, check these drawings out. Well, these two little white boys come up, and I'm like, look at these pictures my dad drew. They start looking at them. The little white boy sees a little naked picture, sees a naked woman. He says, "Oh, they're naked." And I say, yeah, they're naked. And this little white boy went, man, I forgot what his name was. But anyway, so he went straight to the principal, straight to the teacher, told him, look, Ricky got some naked pictures over there. He's showing everybody. So they came and took that folder that I had. I said, oh man, boy, I'm finna get you. And so they took that folder from me and called my grandpa. My grandpa comes. He sees they give him the folder. I get suspended, and in the car when we were about to go home, he looks at the pictures while I'm in the car, tears them all up, tears them all, rips them all up in front of my face. Man, my heart broke. I broke down. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was crying, and it hurt me because those are my dad's drawings, and he just ripped them all up. Never got to see those pictures again. So, but that was one incident, just of a little stunt that I did, which I didn't even think nothing of it because I had already seen naked women. I was like, okay, yeah, what's the big deal? They're naked. These little boys, these little kids were sheltered, I guess. They had never seen no naked woman. Anyways, so along with getting in trouble throughout those years, I wasn't doing good in my grades. I just was behind, I just was always behind. I didn't fail, but I just wasn't doing as good as I should have did. So then after the 8th grade, right, it was time for me to go into high school. So my grandpa put me into another private school. I didn't get into a lot of fights there. I think I got into one fight. Got in trouble a couple times for pulling some little pranks and acting a fool. Because I was just always like trying to make people laugh, trying to do stuff to, I don't know, stand out, just for attention, just little stuff like that. And so yeah, so I would get in trouble for little stuff like that. But my problem was, again, my grades and not focusing on work, and I wasn't doing good. I had a lot of teachers tell me, like, you could be doing so much better if you could just focus, if you just apply yourself. But I think that I was already, like, I couldn't, like, I didn't have nobody backing me up, first of all. I didn't have nobody that was it. I didn't have my parents. I had my grandparents who were already, they barely wanted me there. They were barely happy that, what I'm saying, they were barely dealing with the fact that they still had to raise their grandchildren on top of their kids. And so I didn't have them supporting me, and I didn't have my parents there trying to help me with homework and teach me. My oldest sister was the one who had to really be there for me and help me out with homework and stuff. But at the same time, that's my sister. Of course, she was trying to do what she could, but then she had her own stuff going on, and she would go out and like, you know what I'm saying. So that really wasn't her job either. It wasn't supposed to be her job to just be there with me every single day and all the time. And like, that was really, I was supposed to have my mom and my dad in that family structure, and I didn't have it. And so I failed in grades. It was showing in my grades, and I was going down. So I think it was in the middle or maybe like halfway through the ninth grade year. Things got so bad at my grandparents, me and my grandpa just were not, at that age, I started getting to the point where I didn't want to, like, I wasn't going to put up with him, putting his hands on me and stuff. And so I started fighting back, right? I started fighting back with my grandpa. And he realized that he couldn't handle me no more. He couldn't start, you know what I'm saying? Like, once I started grabbing the belt when he was swinging, okay, now you can't do it no more. So he said, hey, he called up my sister. I can't deal with him no more. Somebody come take him off my hands. That's it. We want him out of here. So anyway, so my sister said, okay, we'll take him in. So I went with my sister, right, my eldest sister, and I lived with her. So they took me out of that private school, put me back in public school, Jeff Davis. All right. So once I got to Jeff Davis, man, then I was just exposed to a whole new environment again. I was back into that little just everybody was like me there. You know what I'm saying? Everybody was wild. Everybody was more wild than me. and and then, like I said in the other videos, on top of all that, being put in that environment, right, getting back into that zone, in ninth grade is when I started drinking. So when I was 15, I started drinking, like I said in the other video. So on top of that, right, it came into my school. So if you combine all that, the drinking, the smoking, with this school, this wild school, it just didn't work out. I just got worse. I just got worse. I really wasn't doing good in my grades then. I didn't care. I started not caring about school. Then I started messing around with girls. Really didn't care then. My focus just started slipping away. Little by little, just started slipping away from the alcohol, from drinking, smoking, and sex, right? My attention just started slipping away from school. And there was really nothing nobody could do about it, I got worse. I started skipping school, and I just pretty much gave up in a way. I care more about drinking and partying than doing schoolwork and paying attention in class. Like, I didn't care about that. So, long story short, I was failing bad, and I was always getting in trouble, always late to school, always getting in school suspensions, and man, I just gave up. I just gave up on school. I didn't care about school. I didn't care about doing the work. I didn't care about paying attention. I didn't care about graduating. I wasn't thinking about none of that stuff. It didn't matter to me because all that mattered was getting drunk and high and partying and skipping school. And it was so stupid because I started skipping school with some friends. Actually, we when I first started skipping school, we actually had a purpose, right? We would go and skip and go do some fun stuff, you know what I'm saying, with a group of us. Then it became stupid. Like, when I look back at it now, it was so stupid because I started skipping school by myself. And then it was just dumb. Like, why was I skipping school? Why was I skipping school for? I was just skipping just to skip because I didn't want to be in class. I didn't want to be in school. And it was so stupid. Like, but again, like, and I realize that now I had so much potential because I'm not stupid. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't a stupid kid. I just had so much going on in my life that, and I know that that's still no excuse, right? Because there are kids, a lot of kids out there who have a messed up home life and still end up pushing through and graduating and end up doing big things in life, go to college. And I've seen it before. I've heard stories before and seen it before, but unfortunately, I wasn't that way because I just did not care. My mentality changed, thinking that I was hard and just wanted to be, you know what I'm saying? I wanted to be a little thug is what I wanted to be, and raised up in that neighborhood, in that environment in Northside Houston. Like, you get accustomed to that attitude. It's an attitude that you just grow up with, and you're like, man, I ain't tripping about nothing. Like, I don't care. And you know what I'm saying? Like, that's the mentality that I had even at a young age, and already starting to like look up to older guys who had been to prison and been locked up, and you started wanting that lifestyle, right? And that's another video in itself that I'm gonna talk to y'all about, is that mentality and where that mentality got me with, you know what I'm saying, with the jail, going going to jail and everything. But yeah, we're gonna get into that another day. But yeah, so that's the mentality that I had in high school, and it did not get me nowhere. So I ended up failing ninth grade 4 times, and before I actually just decided to truly just give up, right? Just really just drop out. No, before I dropped out completely though, I tried to switch schools. I tried to switch schools, so from Jefferson Davis, I tried to switch to Sam Houston High School because I was like, okay, well maybe if I switch schools, it'll change my mentality. I'll do better. I was like, I'll do better, and that's where my ex girlfriend went to school at. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna go to her school. I'll do good. I tried to go over there to Sam Houston. They looked at my grades and they were like, oh no, like your grades are so low, we can't even accept you. And Sam Houston wasn't even a freaking good school. It was probably the equivalent to my school, or I mean, I don't think it was better than Jefferson Davis, but that principal looked and said, we can't even accept you. Your grades are so low, we don't even want you. I was like, damn. I was trying to do the right thing, but they didn't want me, so then, I dropped out. I dropped out and I was like, okay, then forget it. Like, I'm not doing good at school. I'm not going to graduate. I'm never going to graduate, so I'm dropping out. So I did. I dropped out. And you know what? After that, I even tried one more time to go back into Jeff Davis because I started regretting it. So the next year, I tried to go back. And I think I was like 18 already or something. But so the principal pretty much had to sit down with me, and he was like, look, your grades are so bad. You need so much. You're missing, so like you need so much to catch up that it's just not even worth it. He was like, he told me that. He really said that, like, it's not even worth it. You need too much to catch up on, and you're going to be, you know what I'm saying, we don't need an older kid. There's a grown man, right? And I don't even know what's the age. I thought it was like 19 that you can stay in high school. Anyway, so yeah, so he was like, no, you can't. So I gave up on my education. Just started partying more and doing everything that I was doing. You know what I'm saying? I just started living my life and forgot all about education. And eventually, it got me into just that, with not having my education. It definitely didn't do good for me to drop out of high school. I regret it. I definitely regret it. I wish that I could go back, and just like I say this all the time. I wish I could go back. I wish I could go back, but I really do. I wish I could go back and change my actions and paid attention in school. And I know, look, you hear adults say that all the time. I used to hear adults say that all the time, and you just don't listen. You don't care. Like, I ain't worried about that. But it's true. Like, you actually do regret it, and I realize that now. I regret it and I miss it. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, I'm like, if I could go back into high school, I would pay attention. I would do good. I wouldn't have skipped. I wouldn't have smoked weed. Like, just doing all the stupid stuff that I was doing, I would have changed my mentality. Or, that's what I think now. But I'm like, man, I wish I could go back and do it. And I know it's never too late, right? You can always, there's GED, there's you know what I'm saying? There's other options. Unfortunately, me, once I gave up on high school, I really didn't care about a GED, and I just started doing, you know what I'm saying? Then my life just went a whole nother way, because then I ended up getting locked up when I was 18, and then I just escalated from there. You know, I was already doing powder since 16 years old, so once I dropped out of high school, then I just got worse and escalated, you know what I'm saying? And my life took a whole nother downward spiral in the other direction. So I didn't care about no GED. I wasn't thinking about getting it either. But the whole point of this is just to really say, you know, if you're still in high school right now, if you're in high school right now, look, do not pay attention to all the stupid kids that are doing stupid things and not paying attention to school, because they ain't gonna, you know, 9 times out of 10, they're really not gonna end up nowhere. And I realize, you know, God has blessed me in certain areas at work and stuff like that. You know, I was blessed. I've been blessed in a lot of areas with work, and had opportunities that I probably shouldn't have had or wouldn't have had, you know. So I'm blessed in that area, because even though I don't have my education, I still have been able to, been blessed with good jobs and stuff. But it makes it so much harder. It makes it so much harder. Not to mention the fact that I freaking got a felony on my record, which again, that's going to be in another video, so stay watching. But anyways, yeah, definitely pay attention in school, man. Don't pay attention to these stupid little kids that ain't doing nothing. I tell my daughter the same thing. I have a 5-year-old daughter. Don't pay attention to the kids that are playing pranks and joking around in class and not paying attention. Be better than them. Be the one that they, not the one, I don't want to say the one that they pick on, you know what I'm saying? But look, in the end, the ones that are freaking doing their work and paying attention and staying quiet while everybody's acting stupid and laughing, they're the ones that are going to be bossing you around when you get older if you don't act right. You know what I'm saying? They're the ones that are going to be on top and you're going to be at the bottom. They're the ones that are going to own the business. You're going to be working for the business. So look, you know what I'm saying? Real talk, just pay attention in school, man. I regret it. If I could go back and change my ways, I would. So I'm advising anybody out there who's, you know, in high school right now or in school still, who's watching this video, be smarter than that. You don't got to act like them. You know what I'm saying? Be better. Be better. Be the leader. Just like they say all the time, right? Be the leader, not the follower. If you consider yourself a leader, which I would love, you know what I'm saying? I consider myself that. But if you look at it, you're not being a leader when you're following exactly what everybody else is doing, all the stupid little kids. You know, so, hey, be a true leader. And stand out from the crowd, you know what I'm saying? Stand out from the crowd. Do your work. Be smart. And graduate. Get your diploma. Go to college. Man, I wish I could go to college. I really do. Really do. That would be like, so, when you see these movies, right? You see these movies, well, maybe it's not like that, but you see these movies with these, when they got the college dorms and stuff, and hey, look, like I would watch these movies. I'm like, man, that looks. I wish I would have freaking graduated and went to college, and not to mention just I could have did so much more. You know what I'm saying? I could have did so much more and been, man, I would have been balling out of control right now if I freaking got my college degree and used that to get this, you know, awesome, better job, and it just would have made it a lot easier, and I know it would have. So I do regret it. So again, like I said, take this as a lesson. You know what I'm saying? Learn from what I'm telling you. Or yeah, that's my experience. That's my school years. And I hope it was entertaining for y'all. I hope y'all got something out of it. And yeah, again, thank y'all for watching these videos, man. I really appreciate it. And make sure you subscribe to my channel. Like my videos. Comment. Leave comments for real. I'm really ready for some real comments. Oh, and share these videos. If you know anybody who might need to listen to them, share the videos. Tell them, y'all need to go watch this channel. Let's be real. Let's be real. There's too many fake people out there, man. We need some more real people, so I'm trying to step it up. Man. I'm getting hype over here. I'm getting hype. But I really love this, man. I'm excited. I know things are just going to keep moving. And, yeah, man, thank y'all for showing love. So until next week, like I said, if you ain't real, you being fake. So y'all keep it real, man.